Hello and welcome to this presentation on drug awareness provided by Compass. My name is Robin and I'll be talking you through the slides today. Before we get started, let's take a look at the services we provide. Compass Children and Young People's Drug and Alcohol Services. Commissioned by Warwickshire County Council to provide children and young people with support around substance misuse. We also support parents and carers who are worried about their child's substance use. Compass Stars. Part of Compass SIPDAS, Compass Stars support children and young people who are affected by another's substance misuse, such as that of a parent. Youth Justice Service, Equine Therapy. Equine therapy is proven to relieve stress and anxiety and can help young people struggling with mental health or addiction. Warwickshire School Health and Wellbeing Service. Also provided by Compass, WSHWBS is a school nurse-led service that provides children, young people and families with the health and wellbeing support. The aim of this presentation is to develop your understanding of drug categories and their impact on health, behaviour and relationships. We hope to increase your knowledge about different substances and gain awareness of specific drug groups and their effects. What is a drug? Any chemical substance that brings about a change in a person's emotional state, body functioning or behaviour may be termed a drug. Let's think about that for a moment. Do you use illegal drugs? Have you used drugs today? Maybe caffeine in your coffee or nicotine in your cigarette. Let's look at trends in Warwickshire that have happened over the past few years. Most common illicit substances used is cannabis, closely followed by alcohol. There have been an increased number of hospital admissions of under 18s due to alcohol. The amount of children affected by parental substance use is increasing. Xanax use in the south of the county, which has now crept up through to the north, and an increased use of MDMA or pills. Drug effects. Here you can see I've split the drugs into 4 main categories. Analgesics. These can cause euphoria, drowsiness, respiratory depression, which means slowing down your breathing, relieve pain, and can cause nausea, constipation, and or diarrhea. Hallucinogens. They will alter sensory perception, are mood enhancing, so will enhance the mood you're in at the time that you take them, can cause visual and auditory hallucinations, that's seeing and hearing things, and give you distorted perception. Depressants. These suppress the central nervous system, slowing down all your bodily functions, can relieve tension and anxiety, promote relaxation, can impair efficiency of mental and physical functioning, and will induce sleep. Stimulants. These will stimulate the central nervous system. They can increase alertness and diminish fatigue. They will elevate mood, so whatever mood you're in at the time you take them, they will make you feel good. Taking too much can cause nervousness and anxiety. Here are some examples of legal and illegal drugs that fit into each group. Some drugs may slightly cross over into other groups, such as cannabis, which may have some depressant effects, and ketamine, which may have some analgesic effects. When people discuss alcohol, they often talk about units. But what is a unit? Well, 1 unit of alcohol is equal to 10 millilitres of pure ethanol. In practice, the number of units quoted in a drink is an approximate based on the approximate size of the drink and the strength of the ingredients used. It takes approximately 1 hour for the body to break down 1 unit of alcohol. Safer drinking limits have now been set at 14 units per week with 2 alcohol-free days. If you drink on a regular basis, you can become physically dependent, and this will require a medical detox. On the left are some examples of how many units are in each drink. Cannabis. Cannabis comes from the plants Cannabis sativa and Cannabis indica, plants that grow wild in warm conditions. Cannabis contains a number of psychoactive compounds, the most significant of which are tetrahydrocannabinol, THC, and cannabidiol, CBD. THC is the key psychoactive component responsible for much of the euphoria associated with cannabis. CBD appears to reduce the negative effects caused by THC, such as anxiety and panic in some people. Cannabis comes in two common forms, resin and herbal. Costs can vary according to the amount purchased, quality and form of drug, availability, and who is selling it. Cannabis can be smoked, vaped, or taken orally. Cocaine. Cocaine is derived from the naturally occurring coca bush, a native species of South America. While the leaves of the bush can simply be chewed or mashed with lime to form a paste, cocaine undergoes extensive processing in laboratories before it reaches the streets. Cocaine is a powerful stimulant. It offers an intense impression of power and control, combined with heightened energy and awareness. Users can feel euphoric, sexually aroused, confident, and egotistical. With short-term use, cocaine users can experience anxiety, paranoia, and disrupted sleep. The suppression of appetite can lead to weight loss, and users will experience exhaustion and fatigue. Nitrous oxide, a colourless gas usually inhaled when used recreationally. Also known as laughing gas, whippets and balloons. This is not to be confused with helium. Used legally as an anaesthetic in hospitals and dentists, known as gas and air. Used in catering, in squirty cream cans and airsoft guns. Using nitrous oxide can be dangerous. Inhaling a foreign gas into your body depletes oxygen levels, leaving you at risk of suffocating. Users have reported nerve damage and losing feeling in their fingertips. It can also cause anemia due to lack of vitamin B12. Opened incorrectly, the canister itself can cause burns to the skin. Hallucinogens, magic mushrooms. These can be eaten raw, in food, or dried and made into a tea. This makes them very difficult to dose. They take effect after 30 minutes and can last for 5 to 7 hours. Magic mushrooms are considered much milder than LSD. LSD. It's a clear, odorless liquid soaked onto sheets of paper called blotters and cut into small squares called tabs. These are then placed on the tongue. It is impossible to predict the strength. They take effect after 30 minutes and last for 8 to 12 hours. MDMA. This is a stimulant with hallucinogen effects because it has the capacity for creating a sense of empathy and closeness to others. Pure MDMA is a white crystalline powder, but labs and cutting makes them look very different. The cost is £1 to £2 per pill, but a re-emergence of stronger pills can sell for as much as £10 each. It can be swallowed, snorted, or bombed. Bombed is when the powder is wrapped in a Rizla paper and swallowed. It creates a feeling of intense happiness, warm glow, feeling restless, and increased energy. Low mood following use due to low serotonin levels. Benzodiazepines, or benzos, are prescribed as a sedative to combat anxiety, as skeletal muscle relaxants and anticonvulsants. Prazolam or Xanax is not widely prescribed by the NHS but can be sourced from private prescriptions and overseas pharmacies. They are illicitly used for anxiety, insomnia, and as a come-down drug following stimulant use. Risk of fatal overdose is higher when mixed with alcohol or opiates. They will cause physical dependence if used on a regular basis and may require a detox. In the UK, illegal drugs are classified in 3 main categories. They can be class A, B or C, with A attracting the most serious punishments and fines. Each drug is designated as controlled under the Misuse of Drugs Act 1971 and is allocated to a class based on the harm it is considered to cause. Here you can see a few examples of which drugs fit into which class. On this chart, you can see the drug classifications, some examples of which drugs fit into these classifications, and what the punishment will be for possession and supply and production. This diagram shows the influencing factors. These will determine whether you have a good or bad experience when taking drugs. The drug itself. Have you used it before? Do you know what to expect? Do you know how much to take? The setting. What environment are you in? Is it somewhere safe? Have you been there before, or is it somewhere completely new? And the set. This is your mindset. How are you feeling at the time you take the drug? Are you feeling happy, or are you feeling sad? Each of these will have an effect on how you experience the drug. If you have used drugs before, think about the experience you've had. Was it good? Was the drug, the set and the setting all right to give you the best possible experience? Or was it bad? Was one of the factors off, giving you a bad experience? It's important to remember these factors if you're going to use a drug, as it will help reduce the risk and give you the best possible experience. What do people look like when they are using drugs? Here are some examples for cannabis, cocaine, and MDMA. For cannabis, the user may have bloodshot eyes, appear sleepy or lethargic, lack coordination, and of course, there is a very strong smell of the cannabis itself. Cocaine. The user may be very excited, have large dilated pupils, a runny nose, or even a nosebleed, and may appear confident and talkative. MDMA. The user will have lots of energy, show emotional warmth or the desire to be close to the people near to them, have an extreme sense of empathy. They may also clench their jaw or grind their teeth. Harm minimization. There is no safe way to take illegal drugs. Here are a few ways of how to reduce the risk. For alcohol, don't mix your drinks. If you can, try and drink water between alcoholic drinks. Have money for a taxi home. don't mix drink and drugs. Don't drink in rounds, as others may be drinking faster than you. Keep an eye on your drink at all times to avoid being spiked. Stay with friends and never go off on your own. Hallucinogens. If you're using mushrooms, use the correct ones. Only use in a safe space where you are less likely to hurt yourself. Don't use if your mental health is poor. One person should stay sober to look after the people who are using. Cannabis. Don't mix cannabis and alcohol. You shouldn't share spliffs and bongs as they may carry viruses such as cold sores and COVID-19. Use a glass bong, never plastic, as these can melt and you will end up breathing in the fumes. Don't use cannabis and drive. Cocaine. Don't drink alcohol or use other drugs. Try to limit the amount you use. Don't use other drugs to ease a come down. Instead, eat a healthy diet, get plenty of rest, and do moderate exercise to lift a low mood. Always stay with friends if you are out and don't go off on your own. MDMA. Don't mix MDMA and alcohol. Drink water and try to keep cool. Only use half a pill. Do not take more for 90 minutes so that the pill can take effect. Slowly add more if required, depending on the strength. Like cocaine, don't use other drugs to ease the come down. Benzos and prescription meds. Don't drink alcohol and use these drugs, as they increase the risk of overdose. Never use other people's prescription medication. Do not take more than the prescribed dose. Do not drive on these drugs. If dependent, a reduction plan is required. Don't just stop using, as this is very dangerous. Thank you for watching this presentation on drug awareness. Hopefully, it has either increased your knowledge of drugs and their effects, or has refreshed what you already know. If you would like further support, please contact Compass Children and Young People's Drug and Alcohol Services via any of the links below.